Well, I do believe it is Tuesday, May 9th. And Fred is saying hello. Hey, today's GMO Tuesday brought to you by the flower 4 o'clocks. 4 o'clocks. You want a really cool flower that smells great? And the hummingbirds love it, ladies and gentlemen. The hummingbirds love them, I'm telling you. So, you can get 4 o'clocks. They're great. They're a little trumpet. Very pretty smelling. And great addition to the yard. They open up in the afternoon, late afternoon. That's why they call them 4 o'clocks. Crazy happenings in the developments going on. Got ghost writers. We got all kinds of places calling out Monsanto for their lies. Non-GMO feed. Are you in the Reno, Nevada area, ladies and gentlemen? Reno, Nevada area. Non-GMO feeds in stock. In stock. In the store, you can walk right in, pick them up, take them home. They got the layer crumble for, anybody who's got chickens knows what I'm talking about. Layer crumble, pellet, chicken feed, and scratch. They also have organic chicken and pig feed. That's right. Train that little sucker, hold that apple in his mouth. You don't want to be feeding him poison. 1330 Geiger grade 775-852-0999. Give that gal a call, Shannon. Also, we got strawberries. If you're on that end of town and you want some strawberry plants, $4 a dozen right now. Say something, we'll get you squared away. We'll get you squared away there. MDG blogger. Don't forget Marla Dawn Gates, organic for greenlivings.com. Get over there and check that website out. Really good stuff. MDG blogger. You can find her on Twitter. MDG blogger on Twitter. You got Mary's Heirloom Seeds, 7608-704-555. Ladies and gentlemen, you in the San Ramon area, she's got some great specials going on. Great specials. MaryHeirloomSeeds.com. Mary'sHeirloomSeeds.com. Check her out. She's got some good stuff. And of course, that Petaluma Seed Bank, one of my favorite places, man. Building was built back in the early 1900s. Awesome architecture there. They're part of the Baker Seed Group, Baker Seed Company out of Missouri, right up the street from the dreaded Monsanto monster. Oh, boy, they got their hands caught in the cookie jar this time. Big time. Big time. Couple things going on here. We got a warning going out for anybody who is trying to organize to get some anti-GMO stuff going on in your thing. The governor of Maine tried to introduce some legislation up there, and it came up on the radar for the following reason. Once again, our wonderful agrochemical industry has got behind an organization that sounds legitimate. Yes, it does. American. What is it called here? It is the American Legislative Exchange Council. ALEC. ALEC. What do? Well, oh gosh, hey, they go around and write policy for cities. Now, as the court cases are winding through, a lot of decisions lately are coming back. No, the city can say they don't want that sprayed in their park. No, the city can say they don't want that sprayed around the school. No, the city can say they don't want that grown in their town. The county can say they don't want that grown in their town. Monsanto is losing on these fronts. They're losing these arguments in court. As I said in our last episode, their legal manipulation and maneuvering is about through. They're running out. So how are they going to attack this? How are they going to address this? They're going to come in another direction, and they're going to start having people write. Now, I want you. Well, we're going to get into how they've infiltrated everything here in a bit today, because we're going to talk about the hiring of trolls. We're going to talk about the development of scientific organizations, and of course the corporate Europe Observatory exposing corporate lobbying. Got some good stuff for them too. But for right now, let me talk about this for just a minute. While ALEC claims to be nonpartisan professional association for state legislatures, virtually all of its funding comes from its corporate members who give scholarships, quote unquote scholarships, for lawmakers to attend ALEC conferences where the group works with them to draft legislation. In other words, they are training their own politicians from the beginning, right from the very jump. They're training politicians, and oh, by the way, they're using Maine as their proving ground right now. Maine is what's going on here. We're going to read. This is the American Legislative Council, okay? No city, town, county, or other political subdivision of this state shall adopt or continue in effect any ordinance, rule, regulation, or statute regarding pesticide sale or use, including without limitation, registration, notification of use, diverse advertising and marketing distribution, applicator and training certificate storage, transportation, disposal, disclosure of confidential information or product composition. That's the bill they want you to write. I want you to think about this for just a minute. The discrediting game. We'll get to that, but at the very end here, this is what the governor of Maine has put in front of his legislature. And I urge everybody to get a hold of Maine and say, no. Tell them no. Tell that governor to go. A municipality may not adopt or enforce any ordinance or rule regulating the sale, use of From that point on, it is exactly the same as the other bill I just read. He just changed municipality from city, county. Okay? No city, town, county, or other political subdivision of this state. And he just said no municipality. And he took of this state out. So, now, here's what we have going on. The bottom line is this. This is the argument. In his legislative testimony in support of the bill, Whitcomb said local ordinances were creating a confusing patchwork of regulations that often exceed state and federal regulations, which they're allowed to do, even though towns lack technical expertise and resources to evaluate pesticide safety. He also said many towns were being advised by unnamed national advocacy groups. Now, let's back up for just a minute here. Regulations that often exceed federal limits, even though towns lacked the technical expertise and resources for evaluating pesticide safety. Ladies and gentlemen, that's step one in discrediting you and calling you an idiot. I live in a little town, so I can't be scientifically literate. I live in a little town, so I know absolutely nothing. I'm a stupid idiot. I live in Bohoken. Are you from Hoboken? You're dumb, is what they're saying here. Are you from some little backwoods town in Arkansas? You're dumb, is what they're saying. How about in the foothills of California, in one of them little tiny itty bitty towns that have 300 people? You're dumb. You're dumb, according to this guy. You're stupid. You don't have the intelligence to make an informed decision. That's one of the processes in their little Monsanto propaganda machine, tearing down an objection. They call you stupid. They say you're uninformed, you're illiterate, you don't know. What, they don't have books? They don't have the internet in these little towns? They don't have information sharing? Hello? This is what the counter was to that. A Washington, D.C. organization has been active in multiple meetings and has organized training session on how to develop laws. They're training people how to write this stuff, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. He told lawmakers Maine, once again, is a staging ground for political adversary to determine of sound decision-making. Out-of-state adversary groups are impacting Maine people and businesses using Maine law to champion their agenda. Now, I want you to think for just a minute. S-764, the Senate bill that gave us that QR labeling code, I have contended all along it is a violation of states' rights and it violates the Constitution's 10th Amendment. I have said this all along. That is in the courts. Right now, Monsanto knows they have a temporary victory. The government can't tell us on the state level. That's one of the issues going on right now with everything in this country. States' rights. Texas, they just passed a law saying, hey, you can't have a sanctuary city. Well, everybody else around them wants to ban Texas. They want to boycott Texas. You know what? I think I want to go join all my exes. That's what I'm talking about. States' rights, ladies and gentlemen. Colorado, states' rights. Washington, states' rights. It's okay for states' rights in California when it pertains to them giving freebies away, but not in Texas. Come on, stop it, people. States' rights. That's getting ready to go belly up. So what do they want to do? They want to go into the states and write law for the state that's technically illegal. I mean, well, it's not illegal if they pass it, I guess, huh? But that is how they're going to counter all of the court decisions going against them right now. They're starting to have law written. They've infiltrated the FDA, and we're going to get to that in just a little bit here. The EPA, the USDA, you all know that. You all know that. Thomas Baldwin, I know, is going to deny it, just like Bill Nye, the fake science guy, is going to sound some alarm, and the guy who's saying the oceans are going to rise just bought a $4.5 million home 50 feet from the beach. It all ties into GMO stuff. It all ties into this. Crime, and he say they're all in the same bed, ladies and gentlemen. They're all in the same bed. You know, when Bill Nye the Science Guy was promoting and instructing on his children's science show, if you will, the difference between boys and girls is the chromosomes and your whatever structure. We were getting a substantially equivalent paper with absolutely no scientific background. Nobody complained about that. Nobody jumped up and down and said, oh, we got to have a march for science. We got to have a march for science. We got to have a... Donald Trump comes and says, hey, look, there's other ways to do this. We can do it efficiently, cleanly, blah, 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 blah. We need to back this regulation off. Now, all of a sudden, he's denying science. I don't get it. But Bill Nye is a mouthpiece for the GMO industry also. So he's not high on my list of any movement, especially after that latest video that he did on his show. That was pretty disgusting. I'd poke him in the eye if that was my child in around that stuff. I really would, because that's really unnecessary. But the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, that's what they're doing. They're infiltrating the government at different levels, and they're in the schools already. They're in the science programs, and we're going to get to that. One of the big issues out there right now. And it's all coming out in court. Monsanto is hiring armies of trolls. And I'm in conversations with them every day. Peter Olness, GMO Farmer, GMO Roberts, Farmer Joe 85. All these people that they come up with fake names, they're too gutless to put their name and their face out there like I do. That's right, GMO Roberts. Too gutless to put your face out there like I do. Farmer Joe. Yeah. Monsanto right now, it's come out in court that they have been funneling massive amounts of money, hundreds of millions, massive amounts of money into large-scale think tanks, I guess is the word. That's what I'm kind of think tanks to counter such as the Genetic Literacy Program, Monsanto. American Council on Science and Health, Monsanto. National Academy of Science, Monsanto. Okay, they have all these official sounding names. National Academy of Science, ladies and gentlemen, what a big farce. They analyze the reports you send them. So Monsanto send them all the reports. But they're called the National Academy of Science, so they have to be legitimate, don't they? Huh? Genetic Literacy Program. They massive amounts of money into discrediting legitimate science. Now, this is what I have to say to anybody. And somebody said something to me. I'm going to address something right now. How about the GMOs that take toxins out of corn? Excuse the out of me? I think a staple in mankind's diet for millions of years has been corn. Millions of years it's been corn. They got together, they rubbed the tassels together to get different corns. They did some, hey, you know what? I like your corn. You like, hey, let's see if we can get a really super corn with selective breeding, if you will. They've done a lot of stuff with corn, but they never put poison in the corn. Now I ask you, I'm sorry, what toxins are in corn? And if it's that bad, how come mankind hasn't killed itself off? We wouldn't be eating corn if there were toxins in it. There weren't toxins in the corn before Monsanto got a hold of it. You can call it what you want. You can say whatever you want about all this stuff. But any scientist that is telling you that this GMO food stuff that they make from the technology is safe, they're lying or they're stupid. They're not really a scientist. I'm sorry. Anybody worth his salt would know that this stuff is going on the table to feed somebody's child. And I'm sorry. I'm starting to wonder when an attorney's going to climb out of the woodwork and go after Fritos for child abuse, for child endangerment. When is that going to happen? When are they going to go after these companies that are poisoning the people with food so they have medical issues? It's around the corner, I'm telling you. Now, Monsanto, of course, there's all kinds of class action lawsuits out there. And Monsanto, of course, is really upset with the ambulance chasers. I'm not big on that. But, as you can see my mug, you can see name of my company, see Wilson with me here. I can understand everybody else being upset with them for ghostwriting and lying. They have written their own, and this is coming out in the courts. This isn't something that can be argued anymore. This isn't something that can be, oh, that's been debunked. That was a rumor. This is in the emails that have been put in the courts. In the courts. In the courts. Let me go back and see if we can find something real quick here. It totally baffles me, ladies and gentlemen, how all of this goes on, and people. Oh, that's the rebuttal. I need the other one. One of the big news now. Now this could be an area where GMO technologies is really good. Remember, ladies and gentlemen, I don't believe that the GMO technology or the science behind GMO is bad. It is sound. It's good. It really is. It's how it's being used by whom and what they're doing with it to deceive us. That's what's going on. And that is where the problems, that's where people start drawing the line and saying, no, wait a minute. But they got some pond algae. They got this algae thing going on. And also, I think they're doing something with seaweed too. that hurts, man. In controlled settings for fuel. Now, you know what? I grow all this GM corn you want. But contain it and use it for fuel. I don't have a problem with. That to me would seem logical instead of poisoning everybody. That to me would seem the way to go, but they don't want to, for whatever reason, they don't want to do that. They want to insist on feeding it to everybody and that it's safe to eat. It's not. And this is unraveling faster than we can even think about it in the courts right now. It is truly becoming a nightmarish thing. Let me see here. An army of trolls to silence dissent. That is what the global research is reporting. That Montano, the American Council on Science. Let me see here. Here's another one. A less expensive, more palatable approach might be to involve experts only for the areas of contention, epidemiology, and possibly MOA, depending on what comes out of the IARC. This is in an email, ladies and gentlemen. And we ghostwrite the exposure talks and gen talk sections in an email in the courts. They can't lie about it no more. This has not been debunked. This isn't a rumor that's been debunked, ladies and gentlemen. It's fact now. It's in the courts. It's part of a record. They're lying to us. They're in the EPA. They're in the FDA. They're in the USDA. And I ask, join my Twitter campaign. It puts it in writing. It creates a digital electronic paper trail. And oh, by the way, attorneys can use it in court. It's public domain. They don't need any of our permission. They can use it in court because we put it out there in the public domain. It's just food for thought. Let's think about it, ladies and gentlemen. Think about it. Of course, Monsanto says, we question the quality of the assessment. The WHO, World Health Organization, has something to explain. Their lawsuits have no merit. Glyphosate does not cause cancer. That's a lie. It's a bold-faced lie. A bold-faced lie. Now, a very lengthy article, very lengthy article in Corporate Europe Observatory, ladies and gentlemen. Exposing corporate lobbying. This article is massive. I will put the links to all the subject matter in the description today. This is by the European Corporate Observatory. The article is called Exposing the Power of Corporate Lobbying in the EU, Rebuttals of Claims on Safety and Benefits. GMO foods and crops pose less health risk. GMO foods pose health risks. And they go through with all of the stuff. And again, this is a Monsanto organization. This is this organization. And it's unraveling left and right. People have started following the money. And the bottom line is this. You have this side saying something. You have this side saying something. Why isn't somebody pushing our government to step in and say, stop, you got to do this? This gal does a study with pigs. They try to discredit her because she did a study that was unauthorized, not because the information was wrong. I want everybody to think about this for a minute. In the entire time of this email scandal, has anybody denied the emails or the content thereof? No. Monsanto does not deny it causes cancer. They just discredit the gal by saying, you're stupid, don't know what you're talking about. Oh, by the way, you can't do that because it's an unauthorized study. We didn't give you permission. Whoops. But they're not saying it doesn't cause cancer. They're attacking the study. They're not disputing it Keep that in mind. They don't say it does not cause cancer because they can't. We covered that in the last one. Well, one of the gals, Donna Farmer, was an employee at Monsanto, sending an email to the EPA saying, no, you cannot say that. We have not done any tests. You cannot say it does not cause cancer because we have not done any tests. Bingo. There goes a report off the EPA website. That was in the email that came out in court. They've been lying, ladies and gentlemen. They've been lying. I don't care what you say. They've been lying. They're being caught lying. The WHO verdict on the toxicology of glyphosate is also in this. This is very, very lengthy. And one of the big things that's coming out of this, one of the claims was current GMO crops have 22% higher yields. That is a lie. That is a lie. There's no proof of that. Everybody is complaining about lower production costs on the GMOs. They've gone up. They have not gone down. Failed GMO project in Africa used to hype GMOs. Now they're claiming that one of their failed projects is being used by the activists to discredit the GMOs. Their failure, they're blaming on somebody else, and though they're using that as propaganda. It failed. Hello? We didn't make it up. It was your product. Holy cow. Increased profits claimed on this is another thing they found. Increased profits claim was based on outdated data. In other words, it's no good. The realistic picture of BT cotton yields in India are pathetic. We'll just say that. They're pathetic. There's a big old chart. I'll make sure this is in the article. And of course, it links to a lot of other articles on this situation and this issue, ladies and gentlemen. It's beyond me how people, how politicians, how anybody, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call her out. Debbie, give me $15,000, Monsanto. I'll do your bidding in the Senate. Stabbing Al. She stabbed every one of her constituents in the back. Taking money, doing Monsanto's bidding, stabbing her constituents, disrespecting her constituents. If you guys vote her in again, you're stupid. I'm sorry. You vote that lady in again, you're stupid. She backstabbed everybody in her state by pushing the QR code through, and everybody that has signed it, and I already banged our local Senator Dean Heller for not voting outgoing guy Reed, who I lost all respect for as he went out being the punching bag, doing the dirty work, hanging dirty laundry for the Democratic people. But he said no. Even he said no, and he's a piece of garbage. But he said no to that because he knew it was wrong. He knew it was wrong. I have recordings of him talking about it. So, but Dean Heller abstained from the vote. We needed the no vote. We needed the no vote, Mr. Heller. Shame on you. Shame on you. Shame on you. But you didn't vote yes, so you get a semi-pass. You get a semi-pass. You don't get slapped. You just get a shame on you. Represent your constituents. If you're a politician, you're there to represent our interest. You're not there to represent Monsanto's interest. Now, the definition of graft, ladies and gentlemen, is anybody accepting anything because of their political influence. And I want you to think for just a minute. Monsanto, I have bills due. Would you donate $10,000 to me, please? Actually, I need a new truck. Make it $50,000. Donate $50,000 to me. Let me get on down the road. They ain't going to do that. Let me run for Senate and see what happens. Bet they want to come put money in my campaign coffers. Bet they want to take me to lunch. I'm sure hoping that Monsanto is part of the swamp that Trump talks about draining. We're going to have to see. We don't know yet. Still a little bit too early in those stages. See what's going on. But I will say this. And I'm going to ask everybody out there again. Join my Twitter campaign in asking President Donald Trump, Mr. Pruitt at the EPA, And now we know it's Mr. Purdy over at the USDA, and I'm not quite sure who is at the FDA right now. Let's ask them every day. Put it in writing, ladies and gentlemen, every single day. Please get the poison out of our food. Put it in writing every single day. It creates a trail. And I'm going to do. Think about this for just a minute, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm not saying the work that these organizations do. I'm not saying anybody's defrauding anybody or faking or doing anything like that. Do not take it that way. But I want to ask you something, and I want you to be serious for a minute. How many times do you get an email saying, "Hey, we need you to sign our petition"? I get them all the time. I got 5 more this morning. How many of you seen the results of that petition? When they were discussing the food labeling stuff in Congress, in the Senate, did anybody see a senator or a congressman holding up and saying, "Hey, well, wait a minute, 90% of the people are saying this. Here's the proof"? Did anybody see those petitions? I didn't. Maybe we can get them on the Freedom of Information Act. I don't know. But I didn't see them. I saw the counts. I saw people's names being added to lists, but I never saw these petitions. And quite obviously, these petitions, and I'm not saying they're bad, but they haven't accomplished the desired results. Perhaps it is time to go down another avenue. Organic Consumers Association, Center for Food Safety. They're starting a seed bank, by the way, and I'm still waiting to get a hold of them. I haven't heard back yet, but we're still working on that. Zen Honeycutt, Vani Hari. This list goes on and on and on. GMO Project, GMO Watch, the Exposing Monsanto, Monsanto Bot. All you people have massive email lists. Mary's Heirloom Seeds, MDG Blogger. You got an email, a newsletter. Anything. Put this in the newsletter. Please get the poison out of our food. It's very simple. It creates an electronic digital paper trail. What are these politicians worried about right now? The emails people stole. Because it tells the truth about them. Think about it. Monsanto doesn't want the emails in the court because it tells the truth about them. It tells how they've infiltrated everything. It shows a pattern. Emails go back. We're talking emails that go back into the 70s, ladies and gentlemen. We're not talking emails from last week or last year. We're talking emails from years ago that Monsanto knew glyphosate was a problem in the food supply. They knew it was going to be before they ever got that far. They knew they were going to have problems with it. They made their money. They made a buttload of money. They made all the investors happy. They made all their stockholders, all their shareholders smile to the bank. Now it's time for them to clean their mess up. Remember, it took finding DDT in mother's breast milk to make them ban that. Now they're finding glyphosate in mother's breast milk. But they want to discredit that study because of how it was done. I'm sorry. If you found it in one human being's stuff, isn't that enough? Isn't it enough? They're finding it in the blood and urine? Come on. But yet, those are unscientific tests. You're not scientifically literate. You're technologic phobia. How am I all that? And please explain to me why I need some kind of PhD in a scientific discipline to know I don't want poison in my food. It's real simple, folks. I'm going to send this to Mr. Trump. I'm going to send this to the EPA. I'm going to send this to the USDA. I'm going to send a picture with me and Bunny. And we're going to ask, today we are going to ask those gentlemen and ladies, whoever is up there, I don't know, please get the poison out of our food. Thomas, I love you, dude. You keep me on my toes. Don't stop. Got to have opposing opinion or you can't have an opinion. You're just talking in the wind. To everybody out there that you bang me all you want, I don't care. But I do enjoy the back and forth. I do enjoy regardless of how it sounds in social media, sometimes the written word doesn't translate very well. But, you know, it happens. And people who know me, I can have spirited debate. Sometimes I can get a little animated, if you will. If you like what you hear, hit the thumbs up. If you have a subject matter you want looked at, you hear some commentary, drop me a line. You can drop me a line, send a message down below, put something in the comments. Subscribe if you like us. We're working on we're getting close to a radio show. I'm pretty sure. May 22nd, I'm going to be on a food show here in the Reno area. Food Foodies, I think it is. I'm not real sure. But we'll be talking a few things there. I'm not sure if they have to call in or that, but maybe some of you can call in and have a question. And, you know, Thomas does, let me just say this. I banged Thomas Baldwin a little bit. He does say some pretty decent stuff, but for the most part, I feel, my opinion is, it's propaganda material by the Monsanto propaganda machine. It just, that's where a lot of the links come from that he recommends. And that's not to say he's a pretty sharp guy. He does have a few things going on there. We just agree to disagree. You need radio advertising? We can do that. We can help you out. Advertising here, advertising on the website, folks. And as always, if you can help, we are dealing with donations right now. This guy here is keeping things very, very, very limited. I put out a little rodent control update this morning. Stuff is coming out all over the place. Don't forget, $4 a dozen Quinault strawberry plants, ladies and gentlemen. If you're in the Reno area, I'm getting in once or twice a week to Reno right now and doing deliveries. Yesterday, we delivered 400 plants to people yesterday. I got about that many left, I think. I'm not quite sure. But we do have a few dozen left. We have a few dozen left. $4. We got the strawberry baskets already. We'll have pictures of them up here tomorrow. We'll get them out. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, you see that sunshine over my shoulder. You got questions? Alladay LLC right there. Alladay LLC at the gmail.com. AlladayLLC.com. AlladayLLC.com. And once again, to all the wonderful ladies that helped me out, MDG Blogger, that cutie pie in the Keystone State. Hey, go check her stuff out. She's got some great stuff. She's got tips for men, how to make your skin look good so your girl wants to, you know, huggy body, kissy face and stuff like that. You know, hey, good stuff, good stuff. Mary's Heirloom Seeds, San Ramon, California, down there, 760-870-4555. Great organic stuff. Heirloom Seeds, non-organic. She don't do any GMO. She's a non-GMO girl, and she's a cutie pie too. Get her out. She got some great stuff on her website about gardening and stuff. Great specials. Non-GMO feeds. Remember, layer, crumble, and pellet. Chicken feed scratch. That is non-GMO food. And then, of course, certified organic. She has chicken, chick, and pig feed. Got to have that sucker hold that apple, man. You can't be feeding him poison. 1330 Geiger Grade in the Reno area there, ladies and gentlemen. 1330 Geiger Grade, 775-852-0999. Shannon will get you squared away. If she don't have it, talk to her. She'll get it for you. And if you're on that end of town, if you're a customer at Foothill Feed and Mercantile, you want some strawberries, say something to Shannon. They're $4 a dozen. We'll get you squared away. Let's have a great day, ladies and gentlemen. Let's all be safe out there. Ow! Oh, yeah. And the flower, this podcast, this GMO Tuesday podcast, brought to you by 4 O'Clocks. 4 O'Clocks, the flower that opens at 4 o'clock in the afternoon and smells like your grandmother's perfume. Every yard should have it. Hummingbirds love this. I'm telling you right now. One of the greatest flowers I ever found in a garden. They're very fragrant, especially in the morning because they've been opened all night. Very fragrant, but the hummingbirds will catch them in the morning and the afternoon before they close up when it gets warm, ladies and gentlemen. A great flower. Let's have a great day now, and let's all be safe out there. Thanks for tuning in.